Welcome back to Dirty 20, everybody. Today we discuss role-playing in a galaxy far, far away. Let's get on with the show. If you are a regular viewer, then you will know how big of a fan of Star Wars I am. I've always wanted to play in a Star Wars setting, and I have in fact owned several iterations of Star Wars RPG games throughout the years. And since starting the channel, I've been looking at other systems as a kind of point of comparison for 5e. This led me to the Fantasy Flight Games Star Wars RPG, with the three different books, the Age of Rebellion, Edge of the Empire, and Force and Destiny. I went so far as to name it one of my favorite alternative RPG systems in the part 2 of that video series. And, well, I'm here to report that I've tried it. And it's not great. My main issue with the game after a few sessions has been their proprietary dice and how you interpret it. Now, I recommend you check out our video Cowboys vs. Aliens Alternative RPGs Part 2, where I discuss this particular game and my kind of excitement for it. In it, you will also notice I'm wary of the alternate dice, and this kind of, you know, it came through. It was the thing that slowed down the game too much, and there were interpretation issues, really. I get where the designers came from and what they were trying to do, which was, I think they were trying to build on the shared storytelling element of RPGs, so that when you roll dice, and it's only the players who ever roll dice, the DM only tells them how many dice of difficulty and things like that. But it is a slow process, and it takes a lot of getting used to. The idea being that you roll the dice, and together the DM and the player interpret, you know, beyond the success-failure element, whether it's, you know, advantage or threat that comes into play. I think when it comes to alternative systems, I struggle a little bit because I have to learn a whole new system. I'll be perfectly honest with you, I never learned the full rules of 2nd edition, of 3.5, or of 4th edition. And a lot of that's on me. I never really kind of owned the books and took the time to kind of read them. But for some other ones, I did have books, and I was just, it was just a little bit too much for me. 5th edition is the first system where I feel really comfortable with the rules, and I feel like I know the rules. And I also feel that it was the first system that really gave me the confidence, with the foundation of feeling like I knew the rules, that I could actually DM, kind of taking that big step. Now, this brings me to my latest find, SW5E. So, one of my players who was trying out the FFG Star Wars RPG, he also kind of wasn't jiving with it very much, and he brought SW5E to my attention, and I wanted to share it with all of you. SW5E was started back in 2015 by a fellow called Gallifile, who decided to do a complete overhaul of 5e to put it into a Star Wars setting. Now, it has kind of gone on through the years to become a kind of curated library of Star Wars 5e content. Lots of people have contributed to it, and it's now kind of a question of just seeing what works, testing it, and then kind of adding it into the system. Now, you will find lots of kind of documents and PDFs out there online, which either give you a kind of a build for a character or a monster which is prevalent from a particular franchise, whether it's Game of Thrones or whether it's like The Witcher. And they tend to be giving you the tools to be able to play that kind of character in D&D, right? But here, this is a complete transposition right? Where the classes, the magic system, everything about it is now in a Star Wars setting. I have to say, it's fantastic. The work they've done on it is incredible, and really kudos to Gallifile and the team, because the attention to detail is fabulous. Now, Gallifile has a Patreon as well as a Discord server, but all of the content is available for free on their website, which we will link down in the description below. And they've even gone to the trouble of like creating PDFs for the player's handbook and also a kind of monster manual, which they call Scum and Villainy. Once again, the attention to detail is fantastic, and having 5e as a point of reference is really great. For example, if you take a look at the operative class and you just kind of quickly look at their table, you can see, oh, that looks like a rogue. It's got sneak attack, it's got like expertise and evasion, and so it's a good point of reference to know what kind of character you might want to play. But they have done a lot more than just rename and reflavor things. Let's take a quick look at the contents page of the PHB. So straight away you can see many of the classic species of Star Wars, such as Bothans, Chiss, and Gungans. But there are also some interesting ones, such as like the Sith Pureblood. There are many more species on the website and in their extended content in their assets tab on the website, but I think this is a really good starting point. Now, moving on to classes, some will immediately seem familiar. For example, the Berserker, which has Rage, is very similar to the Barbarian. One of my favorites, though, is the Guardian class. Now, every class, as you can see here, has subclasses, just like in 5e, but the subclasses really feel like they spin off and create very different characters. With the Guardian class, the subclasses are lightsaber fighting forms, which I absolutely love. But without diving into it too hard, they have a Crimson Guard monk. I think the way they have reworked the magic system is perhaps one of the most interesting elements. Now, there are two types of powers, or spells. You have tech powers and you have force powers. Tech powers stem from like your gadgets, your training, the things that you've learnt in your class as you've gone along. And force powers are derived from, well, you know.
Use the Force, Luke.
They have done away with spell slots, and instead they give each class a pool of power points, either force points or tech points. Now, in order to cast the power, you must use these points. At will powers or cantrips cost 0, as you can see in the table, and a level 1 power costs 2 points, level 2, 3 points, and so on. I really like this tweak, and hopefully this is going to make the caster classes more interesting and easier to play. Now, another thing that they've done to really kind of transpose the system into the setting is that force powers now have an alignment. And you can see from the page here, they're color-coded. You have light powers, dark powers, and universal powers. Now, depending on the alignment of the power that you're trying to use, this is going to determine the ability score that you use. So, for light side powers, you are going to be using your wisdom. For dark side powers, you're going to be using your charisma. And for universal powers, it's going to be your choice. I really like this, and I cannot wait to try out this system. Thanks again to Gallifile and the amazing team that have put this together for all of us to enjoy. Thank you guys for watching, as always. What did you think? Do you think you might give SW5E a go? Do you think I was a little bit harsh on the FFG game? Should I maybe have given it more time? Please like, share, comment, as this helps the channel massively. And as always, keep slaying. If you've enjoyed this content, then please smash that like button, subscribe, share this around online, and come and visit our website, www.lavictoriaproductions.com, to see all our past episodes, as well as our blog posts and all the stuff that we're currently working on at La Victoria Productions. Why not reach out to us and tell us what you think of our videos? You can reach us on Twitter. At Mouth La Victoria is our producer. We are also on Instagram. I am Enano LVP, and our producer is Jazzy J. Shiro. We're also La Victoria Productions on Facebook and LinkedIn. Come on by and let us know what you think.